All right, so I'm here with Will from Mooroopna Secondary College, and he has stepped up to the role of stage manager for Grease. So I just want to have a chat to you about what it's been like stepping into that role for this production.
Yeah.
And so before the show, what do you do before a show to make sure everything's ready? Do you have like a checklist or?
Yep. So I've got a props checklist.
Yep.
So we go. At the start of the show, I check to make sure every prop that's ready to go is available.
Mm-hmm.
So personal props, I'll get the crew to ask the cast if they got that ready for their particular scenes, and then they'll tick it off as they go. And then at the end of the show, we'll do the same thing. So we'll go through all the cast
good.
props.
Yeah.
So like at least if something does go missing or something does go wrong, got that block of time before the next show to go find that.
The other thing I've noticed you do as well is during the show you're taking notes at the same time.
Oh,
so you're recording anything that doesn't go well or needs to be fixed up for next time.
Yeah. And even trying to write things that are going well so I can
Right.
give out those compliments. It's definitely really easy to see something go wrong and it's very easy to keep writing down all the not so much negative points but the points you
Things
can
need to be
improve
fixed,
on.
yeah.
But it's good. I've been trying to acknowledge a crew that they are doing a good job. And really the amount of notes I'm writing is inconsequential. It's just things we could fine tune a little bit better. They're not major mistakes.
Yeah, I find the same thing with directing. I have to really, because people respond better to compliments and positive feedback when it's specific. Like just saying, "Oh, great show," people don't really take that to heart. But if you say you did that thing with that prop really well,
Yep.
they really go, "Oh yeah, I really did." And it's the same with directing. So I kind of, again, like you, have to sort of force myself to make sure I really write down the positive things as well, because otherwise I just forget them and I can't remember them after the
I
show.
think that's part of my performance background too. You spend
as a
so much
musician.
time
Yeah.
developing constructive criticism for yourself and for others that, and usually if you're trained in that, you know how to not take any of that to heart. But working with kids, they won't have that skill. So it's important to remember that they need positive reinforcement.
Yeah, that's interesting you mentioned that as well, because I imagine that your background as a musician helps you as a stage manager. In what ways does it help?
I find there is a very certain timing and rhythm to most things, especially stage.
Yeah.
And that's why I spend a lot of time just staring at the book and following it along. I find there's very rarely, I get a few scenes where I get to actually see what's happening, but I know what's happening and doing especially listening. Like I've spent, most of my life as a musician just listening to the things around you to know what's happening.
Yeah.
So I don't need that so much visual or tactile cue.
Yeah. I think that's something that I have to work on, because like when I'm stage managing just with rhythm, and I think it's because I'm not a musician. I mean, I sing, but I don't have you know what I mean? I really think that can help. And I know some stage managers will actually, rather than working from a script, they'll work from a score. So they're actually marking in the music, and quite a lot of stage managers for a lot of shows, they need to read music as well. Not so much for Grease, that's
Yeah.
that's not as necessary.
Pretty easy in that regard. But there are a couple times I've ducked down to the pit and looked at the score just for certain cues where I guess I'm finding they're more music driven and I can make them more music driven, and having that ability, I guess, to understand music and count through that music.
Yeah.
Like hearing it in bars and hearing it in phrases, like, well, I can now call it from that without particularly having that I guess full knowledge of the score. I hear what I need to hear and then I can continue on from there. Yeah.
Have you had any major disasters in this show?
Yesterday was pretty fun. Last show we have a particular scene with a milkshake. So we're meant to have this milkshake. It has shaving cream on the top that gets thrown at Kaniki during the diner scene. And it has supposed to have a little bit of water at the bottom so you can actually convey the shaving cream.
Yeah.
There was quite a lot of water in this particular one.
You're from me, Pinky Lynn. You're from me, Pinky Lynn.
So we ended up in a situation where we had one drenched cast member and shaving cream and water all over the stage.
So what'd you do?
So luckily we had someone run off and grab a mop very quickly.
Yeah.
Reacted to that quite well because, you know, I was still new to it, so I was a bit shocked, like, oh God. And I was busy laughing because it was hilarious.
And we had a dance number straight
Yeah,
after
so,
as well.
and I'm, so immediately, once I got over that, I was immediately going back to, all right, I need to get back to my role and to make sure that there's safe for them to come back on stage and do that scene, especially with the dancing, because they're using all of that area. So, yeah, we came back with a mop. We came back with one of the cast members was great. She tried to clean it up with this tiny little cloth. And I was like, that's not going to help. So we actually pushed one of our crew members, shocked him quite a bit, pushed them onto the stage with a mop and go, you're in this scene now, mop it.
Mop the floor.
And
I mean, it was well handled. And I guess, I know when I stage manage, so when something like that happens, there's a tendency to not only be, you know, trying to fix the problem, but you also got to remember that the show has to go on around that as well. So you have to fix the problem, but also go, okay, what's my next cue, and make sure you don't miss the next one as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now, and as soon as I had the time after, I'm just wrote possible mop on standby for this scene.
Yes.
Just in case.
Have you got any of the other plans to make sure that doesn't happen that way again? We're going to do a test, or?
I think it'd be interesting to see. I've told the crew that, because they're the one who set it up, probably don't put so much water in there.
Yes.
Like, as funny as it was.
Yeah, it was a bit much, wasn't it?
But also there was a part of me going, wow, we managed that really well. Can we just do it that way again?
Well, I mean, from the audience's perspective, it seemed like...
it.
Well, they loved the milkshake, and it also didn't seem like anything had gone wrong to them, and which is, I mean, that's the ultimate
That's
goal,
the main
isn't
thing.
it?
Yeah, and that's another thing I carried on from music, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't know when you're wrong.
You just
There
keep
are
going.
very few mistakes you can make where it's very glaringly obvious, and usually they're from that shocked face. It's
Right,
like
yeah.
that's not meant to happen.
Yeah. Anyway, so just to finish off then, what would you say to another teacher who was about to take on the role of stage manager in their school musical?
I think for me, coming from a teacher perspective, like teachers are already a lot of them are very organised. We want to keep having everything to that fine, or at least for me, that fine timing, everything where you need it to be. You know exactly what you're doing when you walk into a situation.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same with stage managing. But at least with stage managing, you get a lot more time to focus on the one particular thing. It's not like writing the new lesson plan every week and then not being able to rehearse that. So there's a benefit there. But I think, having that script there, just with everything I need to do, and even then I'm still going through and fine tuning it where I know I've slipped up little bits and know I need to maintain attention. I think it's just keeping that focus and calm through the whole show, so that when you do get situations like that where it's suddenly, oh my God, what do I do? You're the one person who isn't that. You're the one person who can go, all right, well, this is how we fix it.